You ever notice how the quietest places always seem to attract the loudest kinds of trouble? Yeah, me neither, at least not until the day I finally thought I'd outsmarted all the noise in my life. Bought myself this slice of heaven up in the Rockies, way up above 7,000 feet, just woods, wind, my own patch of sky, and not a neighbor in sight. Place came with a 4-acre fence line, a private bridge, even a pool cut straight into the rock ledge, and a pond at the far end. One of those spots where the silence actually feels like a weight coming off your chest. No HOA. That was the clincher. The developer, guy named Mark, practically did a dance with my deed in his hand, made sure the county recorded that my land was legally outside the Aspen Echo Ridge HOA, not just in writing but stamped, notarized, airtight. You're off rid, off books, off limits, he said, grinning like a kid with a slingshot. And after 15 years as a Denver firefighter, spinal injury, titanium in my back, lungs full of smoke, I wanted out. Out of city meetings, out of neighborhood drama, out of anything with a committee or a newsletter. I just wanted to breathe. Then came the letter. Pristine envelope. Green embossed logo. Aspen Echo Ridge Homeowners Association. First thought? Junk mail. Maybe a misdirected welcome to the neighborhood from people who didn't know the county lines. But when I opened it, my stomach dropped right through the floor. They wanted a key to my pool. They wanted a regularized schedule for community access oversight and requested I submit a duplicate key to their safety committee. I read it 3 times, laughed so hard I nearly choked, and then the laughter died and left something raw. My pool, my land, my little island of peace, being drafted into the HOA Navy by people I'd never even met. So I did what anybody with half a sense of self-preservation would do. I got my paperwork, the deed, the county plat, the exclusion agreement signed by the developer, the HOA, the county recorder, hell, probably notarized in 3 states. I wrote back, very politely, that my property had never been subject to their governance, attached copies of everything, and made it real clear that any attempt to enter my land, by foot, key, or proxy, would be treated as trespassing. Sent it certified, CC'd the county clerk, felt like a man who'd just thrown the first punch in a fight I didn't want. Then I headed into town for supplies, hoping it'd all blow over. But trouble's got a way of sticking around when you ignore it. My neighbor Greg, retired Navy doc, dry as a Colorado winter, was already on my porch with a 6-pack when I got back. He'd heard the HOA was sniffing around. They want a key now? He asked, cracking a beer. Worse, I told him. Karen Tmain's running the show. Greg let out a low whistle. Karen doesn't need an invitation, just a clipboard and a grudge. Yeah, he was right, but I wanted to believe it'd blow over. The law was the law, right? But the law means nothing to folks who think they are the law. A few days passed. No letters, no HOA minions knocking at the gate. Just when I thought it might be over, I came back from town to find the padlock on my service gate hanging in 2 pieces. Grass trampled, footprints leading down to my pool. 3 towels, empty water bottles, a half-eaten granola bar, and a pool noodle left floating like it was some damn summer camp. I found a new letter in my mailbox. No envelope this time, just HOA letterhead. Until an equitable agreement is reached regarding management of the pool, rotating volunteers will monitor the space for safety and compliance. Monitor? They'd broken in, lounged by the water, trashed my place, then called it oversight. I called the sheriff. To their credit, a deputy came out that night, didn't treat me like some cranky loner. Took photos, took my statement, logged it as criminal trespass. It's not the first time with this HOA, he said. But cutting a lock's a whole different animal. He suggested cameras, so I doubled up, reinforced locks, welded crossbar, motion-activated night vision, cloud backups, the whole 9 yards. Greg brought coffee, cracked jokes, but even he looked uneasy. They don't let things go, man, he warned. People like Karen, they escalate. The next evening, I caught 2 SUVs slow rolling past my bridge. Didn't stop, just let me know I was being watched. I added more cameras, mapped out the blind spots, started to feel like I was defending a military outpost instead of a home. 3 days later, I get a call from Monica Lopez, County Inspector, Environmental and Sanitary Division. Complaint about my pool, possible code violations, shared use water structure, disputed boundaries. She came up, did her job, polite, tired, clearly not thrilled to be involved in what she probably knew was HOA nonsense. I handed her every document I owned. She had an old, out-of-date map with her, one that didn't show my exclusion. "Where'd you get that?" I asked. "It came with the complaint packet," she replied. I didn't need to guess who filed it. Karen had tried to rewrite history with a 10-year-old map. I showed Monica the up-to-date GIS data, the legal exclusion. She listened, she nodded, she left irritated, at them, not me. But now it was war. Greg dropped off a folder he acquired. Don't ask how. Inside, a transcript from an old HOA meeting where Karen admitted she didn't want to lose leverage over my pool. A certified letter from the county confirming my legal boundary. Ammunition. I drafted a complaint to the county prosecutor, attached every document, every photo, every visit from inspectors and deputies. This wasn't defense anymore. This was offense. And then it got weird. Friday night, the alarm tripped. Motion floodlight near the pool went off. News sirens started wailing. Greg and I, half-dressed, ran out and found 3 teenagers by the pool, one with a garbage bag, another with a HOA volunteer authorization letter clutched in his hand. They claimed to be there for pool hygiene. I called the sheriff. Greg, cool as ever, pinned the mouthy one when he tried to throw a chair. Deputies arrived, saw the signature, Karen's, clear as day, arrested the kid for trespass and minor assault. Turns out he was the son of one of Karen's cronies. I documented everything. Now it was on paper. HOA encouraging minors to break in, tamper, intimidate. Next morning, 2 adults showed up, polo shirts, HOA logos, acting like they owned the place. Claimed they were on easement land. I sent them packing and added 2 more cameras, fresh locks, new signs. Then, walking the fence line that evening, I found it. A fake community pool. HOA access sign, 2 empty gallon jugs of high-concentrate pool chlorine, planted like evidence. Somebody was trying to make it look like I'd opened the pool to the public, setting me up for code violations, maybe insurance cancellation. Greg checked the trail cam. We caught Marcy, the HOA secretary, sneaking in at 3 a.m. with the evidence. I called the DA's office, sent the lab results showing the chlorine wasn't even a retail brand. Commercial stock, HOA contractor supply. That was the twist that changed everything. I stopped playing defense and started building my own narrative. Turned my barn into a war room. Projector, printouts, video files, every scrap of proof lined up like a prosecutor's board. Then I went public. Flyers in town, posts on the neighborhood forum, open day for anyone to come see what the HOA was up to. Over 50 people showed, neighbors, reporters, even former board members. Stories spilled out, fines for wind chimes, threats over solar panels, foreclosure threats for late landscaping. By sunset, there was a petition to remove Karen, force an audit, maybe dissolve the HOA altogether. HOA panicked, released a public statement, claimed good faith, called my evidence fake, said I was sowing division. Someone leaked their internal emails. There it was, counter his narrative aggressively. The board pushed back, but the community pushed harder. County set a court date. My case, trespassing, harassment, defamation, evidence planting, illegal use of HOA funds. Karen showed up to court late, sunglasses indoors, face like she was chewing glass. Her lawyer argued misunderstanding. The judge didn't buy it. Greg's forensic breakdown of our footage and chain of custody was surgical. The prosecution played the audio of Karen's own email. They showed the signed youth volunteer memo. Karen took the stand and fell apart. Minimized everything, rolled her eyes, finally snapped in the hallway at a reporter. "You people are all parasites." Phones filmed it. She got arrested on the spot for assault. The verdict came quick. HOA acted outside its authority. Karen liable for $310,000 in damages and a criminal investigation for financial abuse. HOA funds had been used for legal fees, youth uniforms, even a PI to dig up dirt on me. None of it disclosed, all of it traced. The HOA board imploded. Karen resigned. 3 more quit. A petition to dissolve the HOA hit 60% in a week. My property, cleared. My pool, still mine. Greg and I started a Substack, Citizens for Legal Equity and Accountability in Residential Governance. Shared legal templates, guides, annotated bylaws. Over 500 subscribers in weeks. Folks from all over, sending stories of their own fights. But I didn't want to be a hero. I just wanted peace. 3 weeks after the judgment, I put up a new sign on my gate. Private property, not for HOA use, not negotiable. Underneath, a brass plate. So was the camera. Greg's edition. The air felt cleaner, not because anything changed, but because I knew I could breathe again. No more watching my back. Funny how a little silence can mean so much. So what would you have done? Ever gone toe-to-toe with an HOA? Or did you just pay the fine and move on? Let me know below, because these fights, they only stay quiet if we let them.